What's up, everybody? It's Friday night. It is the late night agenda. As you guys know, I'm your host Craig, and you are all very, very welcome along. Just think, this time next week, excitement levels will have hit, I don't know, an all-time high. As you can see from our countdown, there are 8 days to go until Liverpool take on Spurs in the Champions League final in Madrid. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but time is moving very, very slowly for me. I apologise, I'm a couple of minutes late. I was recording with Cash. What we decided to do, I did say that I was going to be recording with Cash today. I actually did say she was going to be on the stream, but then it hit me. Because myself and Connor are travelling over to Liverpool on Monday, we won't be here on Sunday night and Monday, so we want to make sure you guys have content. So that interview with Cash, we're going to post up for you guys on Sunday, and I'll try and do a bit of a transfer roundup on Sunday afternoon before I go as well, to give you guys a little bit of live content. And then Connor will have something ready for Monday as well, just so that you've got fresh content every day in the channel, because we do like to try and do that, because we understand that we can be a part of your day, and we can be a part of some people's schedules, and we love that, so we don't want to let you down. Look, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Lots of us to get through again tonight. It's probably been one of the quieter days with regards to transfers, but that doesn't mean that I have missed something, that you guys have seen something. So let's get stuck in, see how everyone's feeling. Crosby Red is in, how are you? Boy is in as well, Stig Blom Anderson, all the usual suspects are in. Any questions, any thoughts, anything you guys want to start on tonight? Crosby Red said, did anyone see Mourinho saying how hard it would be if URGED if he lost 3 Champions League finals? Yeah, a little bit of shithousery there from Mourinho, Mr. Unemployed, as I like to call him these days. I don't know if he's trying to ramp up pressure, because last week I seen him be very complimentary of Jurgen Klopp. So yeah, it's really tough to decide what goes through Mourinho's head from time to time. I'm yet to hear a rumour about Maddison, said Mossy Kyo. Okay. Let me get straight to that one then, Mossy. You've gone straight in there, buddy, so let me get to Maddison. Former Red and now ESPN pundit and a mouthpiece that I don't like. I've said this many, many times before. Steve Nicol has urged Jurgen Klopp to go all out this summer and tried to sign Leicester's James Maddison. I have no idea what type of figures that would cost. He is a player that we were linked to last summer. He's a player that I spoke about. He was at Norwich. Leicester signed him. I think we walked away maybe because of the injury that he had towards the end of the season. But this isn't the first time I've heard Steve Nicol suggest this, which is why I came back and I wanted to address the situation again, because I'd spent a lot of the afternoon chatting with people on Twitter about James Maddison. And boy, I know it's very unlikely, mate, so please, don't have a meltdown. I get you. Leicester City fan, very good player. You don't want to see him leaving the club. I just want to get Red's thoughts on this one, because everybody I spoke to on Twitter today suggested that he'd be perfect, absolutely perfect in our system. I think he'd be very expensive, to be honest. But I want to get your thoughts on, and I want to get your thoughts on if you think Steve Nicol has a point on this one. So let me see, how are we? Let me get to your comments. So many people in the chat move so quickly these days, it's so hard. Subi's in as well, how are you? Maddison's a good player, Premier League experience, but the price, said Aidan Andrews, the price. And the price, mate, is the reason that I'm very sceptical of any Premier League to Premier League transfer involving Liverpool, because I can't remember, maybe Boya could tell me, or one of you guys, I can't remember what Leicester signed him for. 16 or 18 is in my head, but I've no idea if that's true or not. I imagine you were talking in excess of 40 million, probably even a little bit more. And Leicester, as Boya will say, are a club that are looking to build, a club that are looking to push into that top 6 in the European places, and have owners that are good owners that want to back Brendan Rodgers. So I think it would be very, very difficult for Liverpool to get him out of a contract at a club that don't really need to sell. Recessionizer said Maddison and a Harry Wilson swap deal. That is very, very clever. Something that, again, a few people have suggested. I don't know, swap deals are very rare in football these days. It doesn't happen as much as we might like to think, but you never know. And again, I'm not saying that there is genuine links here. I'm not saying Liverpool are going to sign James Maddison. I'm just saying this was a suggestion from Nicol, and having had conversations with people on social media today, one that a lot of people think will be a perfect fit for Liverpool. Tiernan Downey said, yes, mate, James Maddison. Maddison needs 1 more year at Leicester, said Phenomenal Empire. Fakir for life, says Fury Gamer Demon. Mate, I'm with you. I'd love Nabil Fakir. He's no better than Neres or Ziyech and will cost twice as much, said Keen Rainsford, which is a fair assumption. As I said, any Premier League to Premier League transfer, there usually is a premium, and then you throw on top of that the fact that he's English, and then you've got that English premium, which does really exist, even though if we want to pretend it doesn't, it does. Somebody else talking about Delete United. I think Mark Obridge has already poo-pooed on that one and said nonsense, not going to happen. What else we got? Sorry, I'm just trying to skip through some comments and make sure I get the ones about Maddison. Part exchange, Lallana and cash for Maddison. Boya, what do you think about that from your perspective? Adam Lallana at Leicester, is he too injury prone, too old, somebody that you'd like? Harry Wilson, would he interest Brendan Rodgers, do you think? Boya said, I think would fit well, just think would cost a bomb because he's contracted until 2023. Craig, would you rather have Maddison than Bale? Yes, 100%. Gareth Bale is sensational when he's fit, and he is getting to the wrong side of 30 now, so for me I would massive pass on Gareth Bale. I have my own thoughts on what's going to happen at Real Madrid this year. They are trying to move on everybody. They're trying to move on Bale. They're trying to move on James Rodriguez, who was on loan at 2 years at Bayern Munich, and Bayern don't want him, so they're going to have to try and move him on. Then, of course, you've got the stuff now about Sergio Ramos, saying he might look at a new project. Then you've got to look at Modric. You've got to look at Toni Kroos. You know, it's going to be tough going. And Real Madrid, you know, you've seen links to them buying up everybody, but they've got to move players on as well. I really can't see Leicester owners selling Maddison this summer when you look at how they refused to sell Mahrez for several seasons, said Ian Turlington. Ian Turlington is probably spot on there, and I did allude to this earlier on. Leicester's owners are owners who genuinely want to push that team on, and they're not just there for a quick buck. I mean, yes, they have a Premier League title, but they want to establish themselves as... They've already established themselves as a top half team, but they want to establish themselves as a team looking to push for those European places. And hand on heart, with a couple of additions, they could absolutely be there fighting for those places. Now, I'm not talking Champions League just yet, but there's absolutely no reason why Leicester can't be looking to break into that top 6 or 7 and cement at least the Europa League place. Billy Donnelly says, how's it going, Craig? I'm excellent, mate, thank you. Did you hear the rumours linking Ramos to Liverpool? No, mate, and whoever wrote them rumours needs a slap across the head, because it's absolute bullshit of the highest order. Like, why the fuck would Liverpool even entertain bringing Sergio Ramos here? The owners would know there'd be a revolt in the fan base if that smarmy little fucker put on a Liverpool shirt. It's obviously just someone, Paul, taking the piss, mate, or trying to wind people up. It's working, because look, I've only talked about it for 2 seconds and I'm already getting angry. Kisler said Bruno Fernandes instead of Maddison. Harry Wilson be linked to Leicester for 22 million, so unlikely will be a swap deal, said Boya. Ramos can piss off, said Louis, and I'm with Louis. Ramos can piss off. Craig, if I was Bale, I'd make Real buy me out of my contract. I mean, yeah, he's in a good place there, mate. He can just sit there and say to them, I ain't doing jack shit until you put your hand in your pockets and pay me off, because I think they've been very disrespectful of Gareth Bale. Kroos just signed a new contract. There you go. But he's still another ageing player, mate, that they will need to move on eventually. And he's one that we'd seen linked to Manchester United on previous occasions. What else we got? Hello to everybody, said Claire. Fuck Ramos again, said Luke Skywalker. Do you think we should sign Ryan Fraser, or try and sign Ryan Fraser, said Jack. The strongest links I've seen for Ryan Fraser have been Arsenal, mate, and 30 million. I know a lot of Reds have suggested him, and I know he's had a very good season with Bournemouth, but is he the calibre of footballer that we need? Is it perhaps... Did he just have a purple patch this season? I don't know. I wouldn't have said that I've watched enough of Ryan Fraser to give you a well-balanced opinion, but my initial instinct would be to say no, particularly at 30 million. I think there might be better value in the market, and I think there are genuine links there to Arsenal. Not, again, saying that it's going to happen. Let's Think Tech said, truly love this channel. The way you engage with your fans and always answer our questions is an incredible talent. I hope you hit 16k on stream because you deserve it. I can't see Leicester selling Maddison. Firstly, let me address your compliment, mate. Thank you. That's really, really kind of you. It's a natural thing for me to come on and engage to people because, as I've always said, if people take the time to write their comments, and we do live streams, so for us, the interactive nature of it is what makes the shows. Some other YouTubers do some pre-recorded stuff, which of course means they can't really engage because maybe they want to have a higher technical spec to the videos, or they know they need to do some post-recording editing and stuff. For us, we just kind of roll the dice and go live. And once you're answering people's comments, it makes the stream flow naturally as well. And yeah, it's fun. I just didn't know any other way when we started YouTube. I just said, this is what I'm going to do. Let's see what happens. And thankfully, people have liked it and come back, which is the most important thing. Brian Morrissey said Maddison next season is much more likely. Start building a relationship with Leicester by selling them Lallana or Wilson. They can be the new Southampton. Sorry, boya, only joking. There is some sense to what you're saying, though. I mean, lay the foundations now. We know clubs do look to build those relationships. And when you're talking about high quality players, it does take 6, 9, 12 months to build these relationships with the clubs, the players, the agents, to see how he develops, to explain our vision to him. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Anybody else see the Messi comments about the semi-final match? He's a broken man by the sounds of it. I didn't see them, Claire, but Stephen Richards did send me a little message on earlier on to say that he'd seen that Messi said he can't get that semi-final out of his head, and for the greatest of all time, or one of the greatest of all time, to be still obsessing about that just goes to show quite how magical that night was at Anfield, and quite what a result that was to turn Barcelona over 4-0. I still can't get over it. I enjoyed talking to Cash about it when we recorded the little segment beforehand, because it let me relive those feelings, and I want to relive them many more times before the Champions League final on June the 1st. Robbie Howie said, how's your day today? What's your name again? I forgot the last time. So sorry for asking. Absolutely no problem, mate. My name is Craig, and Connor is the other gentleman that runs the channel with me. But don't ever feel afraid to ask a question, mate. There's no such thing as a silly question. Unless Connor asks it, in which case it probably is a silly question, because it's usually asking me to do work, which means no. He should know that by now. We can't sign Ramos. Our players are programmed to get revenge on anybody who hurts one of our own. Ramos would be hospitalised before he put his boots on, said Crosby Red. Yeah, and I don't think we'd sell a single Ramos shirt either. Bobby Zamora said Fury Gaming Team. But you remember those days? There were some dark days, mate, where a link of a Bobby Zamora to Liverpool wouldn't have been the most unrealistic thing in the world. I am, of course, talking about the Roy Hodgson days. Oh, what a dark time that was. Craig, that badge on your shirt, does it mean you have a fat arse? That badge on your shirt, does it? I don't know, what does the badge say? Oh, my top? I don't know, Argentine Football Association or something, Stephen. I haven't got a clue what it means. Luke Skywalker said, Fekir and Werner, Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back, and a left back for cover. The Premier League will be ours. Nice. We've a bit of a quieter stream tonight by the looks of it. I think, what have we got, 265 in the chat, which is probably the quietest it's been in a while. So if you're somebody that doesn't usually put in a question and you think, man, it's too busy, tonight might be the night. So if you have, if you want a question, do get it in there, because it seems to be a little bit quieter, so I can maybe get through some more questions. Or comments, I should say. Not always questions. People have comments, stuff to share. We're doing a preview with Expressions. It's penciled in for next Wednesday, Kane. I'm just waiting to get confirmation from Expressions. I sent him a message earlier on Twitter, so I'm hoping that we do hoping to do two parts, one live, one pre-recorded. So fingers crossed we'll get that in. But we will be talking to Expressions at some point before the final. It's penciled in for next Wednesday, but I have to get confirmation before I can come out and say keep an eye out for it, because I don't want to tell lies. Still watching the highlights of the game versus Barca, said Adam Parks. Boya said, the thing that worries me is I think he'd slot straight into your team with regards to Maddison. He would. And that's what makes a lot of Liverpool fans go, oh, that makes sense. Because he would drop right into that spot behind the front three and play very, very well in there. And I could only imagine, as good as a coach as Rodgers is, I think he would excel under Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think Brian Morrissey's comment makes some sense. I think James Maddison owes Leicester another season at least, to be fair. I want another Fabinho transfer, said Billy Donnelly. They are the best, aren't they? When you haven't got a clue what's going on and then all of a sudden, bang, there they are. Apparently that was Messi's first media talk in 4 years, and he bowed the might of Anfield. I'm sure I've seen... Messi's done media stuff. I've seen Messi do interviews over the past couple of years. Do we want Zaha, said Johan. I haven't seen any direct links other than fan talk and newspaper talk, mate, but I haven't seen any genuine links. I mean, I'd imagine, from what if I remember correctly, the figure is around 60-65 million were what Crystal Palace were talking about, which there's better value in the market. He's a very good player, but there's better value out there for that type of money. Stevie Richard said, hit the subscribe button, folks. We're only 5 away from 15,850, which is class. Yeah, we're getting there. We're pushing towards that 16k. Who's going to win the Europa League? Asked Phenomenal Empire. I can't tell you who will win it, but I can tell you would much prefer Arsenal to win it over Chelsea. Yeah, that's just my honest opinion. I just prefer Arsenal as a football club over Chelsea, and I think Arsenal I think Arsenal played the better football in the Europa League as well. And I like watching them more. They're a more exciting team to watch play. Still no ticket for my dad. I'm very good and disappointed, said Graham Vlogs, or Sam Graham Vlogs. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I hope he gets sorted out. So many people on Twitter and other forms of social media just trying their best to get a ticket. We need Ruben Neves so we can be the best, said Liverpool Football Club. Have you seen the thing with Sergio Ramos? We kind of went through it, Tyler. You mean, you should know. There's no way that's happening. Absolutely no way. I know Sergio Ramos said he wants to possibly leave Real Madrid, or he might be interested in a new part of his career. What is he now, 33? So I'd imagine Italy or Turkey, somewhere like that. I can't see anybody in England rolling the dice on Sergio Ramos with that type of wages and stuff. Chris, Game 7, will you be watching the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, and if so, will there be a stream? I tried to put a vote about this, Chris, on I think maybe the night before last. So I asked people if they wanted to do a watch along of the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. Give me a thumbs up if you did and a thumbs down if you didn't. And I actually don't remember seeing many if any votes. So again, we're a channel that's willing to do whatever you guys think. If you want us to do a stream during the Europa League final, give me a thumbs up. If you don't want me to do a stream during the Europa League final, give me a thumbs down. We do whatever you guys want. We are here to make you guys happy. What is the news with Depay, I think you meant to say. Is that right, Varsity Villain? We'll get on to that in a couple of seconds. Just bear with me. Have I heard about Divock? And apart from the fact that he has a massive appendage, I'm not sure what you mean. Evening Craig, new to the channel, love it, said Multi Thomas 888. Thank you very much, buddy. Welcome. Great to have you with us. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Please do keep putting your comments in, mate. If you've anything you want to ask, lash it in the chat. Any news on the pie? Was late to the stream. We haven't gone through it yet, Charlie, mate, so I do have a little bit on the pie, and I will get to it now in 2 seconds. Dave's LFC Chats is in as well. Buddy, how are you? Always great to see you. Whoever wins the Europa losing in the Super Cup. I don't know, there was a period where the Europa League winners won the Super Cup a few years in a row, but again, I think the whole Super Cup thing is nonsense. I mean, it's pointless. It's another trophy, but it's a trophy I wouldn't really count. But again, it's another away day, I suppose, or another day that Reds can travel into Europe if we win it to go and watch the game. So that's always a plus. Have we signed a 16-year-old goalkeeper? I'm not sure if it's finished, but yeah, there's a 200 grand deal in place with, I think it's Legia Warsaw, for a goalkeeper that's going to come in and go into the academy, mate. It looks like it's a done deal, but I don't know if it's actually been signed off on yet. Maverick said, realistically, we need a left back, somebody technical and creative in the midfield, and a versatile front three rotation player. Neres, Ziyech, and Samuel from Valencia. Interesting. Joey Hayes said, good evening to everybody. Joey, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Craig, Louise, and I have ordered the alcohol for the final on Big Cock TV. Nice. I'm so excited, mate, about the final. I've no idea what it's going to be like. I've no idea what our stream is going to be like, but it's going to be fucking fun. That's all I can tell you. With myself, Dave, Brian and Connor together, and those guys having a few drinks, I think it's going to be fun. A few thumbs up there, I think, for the watch along. A couple of thumbs down. If you want it, we'll do it. We might as well say we'll do it, and then if people don't want it, I guess you just won't watch. So you can schedule us in for a watch along of the Europa League final. It'll be good practice for the Champions League final. Right, now on to Memphis Depay, which is, I suppose, the most consistently linked name to Liverpool over the past 48 hours. More links today suggest that Lyon are willing to sell Memphis Depay and that Liverpool are indeed interested. One thing that somebody mentioned on the stream last night, and I wanted to go and research today just to be doubly sure on this, somebody said that they believe United might have a buyback clause or a first refusal clause. It seems that is the case. When they sold him to Lyon, they did insert a buyback clause in Memphis Depay's contract, but it also seems that they've no interest in bringing him back to the club, or maybe the player has no interest in going back to United. I don't know. But I believe that contract, or that clause, does exist in the contract. Don't see it being a stumbling block if Liverpool want to go and get him. I think United have enough business to be getting on with both players in and out that Depay isn't really on their radar. What do you guys think on Memphis Depay? I am still on the fence. I've said before, even though some people have said he mightn't have an attitude, I just feel he does. I just think he's a diva, and I don't like the idea of a diva. I don't give a shit about the ex-United thing. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's just, I don't know. He has an attitude from what I can see, and I know people are going to say, But he doesn't have an attitude. This is, I've had people come up to me and say, or come up to me, people write to me and say, yeah, that's just for show. He doesn't really have an attitude. I've seen things in the media, though, of him and the Leon manager being a bit disrespectful, and I don't think it's the type of thing I'd like at Liverpool. But from a footballing perspective, he looks very good. And the money, 45 million, seems very reasonable to me. I like what I've seen of Ziyech, said Jack C. You should do it just for the subs, said Stephen Richards. Yeah, there is that. If I'm being brutally honest about it, we probably would pick up quite a few subs from the Europa League final, so why not? They wouldn't be Liverpool subscribers most likely, unless you have a few Reds floating around who are just watching it for the laugh. Ella said, I'm unsure on Memphis Depay. Liverpool Football Club said Diva Depay. If Klopp likes him, then I think we have to trust in Klopp, said the Irish Beard. Absolutely, and that's the only thing that gives me solace in this whole situation. Whoever Jurgen Klopp decides he's bringing into this football club, even if I have preconceived ideas about this player having an attitude issue, I know there's no way he's signing for the club without getting through a couple of strenuous chats with Jurgen Klopp, and these things will be assessed, and Klopp's not going to bring in anybody who would destabilise the environment that we currently have at the club, which looks brilliant. I mean, the players always look like they're having a ball. The Divock news is Barca want him as a backup striker. We covered that three or 4 days ago, mate. They've been linked to him, and they've been linked to Fernando Llorente as well as possible backup to Luis Suarez. Now, Liverpool look like they're going to offer Divock Origi a new contract. I don't think he would want to go to Barcelona at this point of his career. I don't think it's genuine either. Barca, again, have a lot to be getting on with. They looked like they were going to sign Antoine Griezmann. Then it looks like that might have hit the rocks. Now there's news that Manchester United might be looking to go and sign Antoine Griezmann. Again, let's wait and see what happens. But I tend to not believe anything that I read from any Spanish outlets familiar to Billions, because they link and try and disrupt English teams and link every one of their players to Barcelona and Real Madrid, and it pisses me off at times, if I'm being honest. The White Warrior said, I love Pepe from Lille. Certainly somebody who a lot of Reds hope we sign, and it's been quite quiet on that front, and I haven't seen much with seriously linking him to another club yet, which, when it's quiet like this, is when I get interested, because quiet time can lead to Fabinho time very quickly, can't it? Don't like the fact he's an ex-United player, said Epic Ledger. Craig, I think Klopp would sort out Depay, said Stephen Richards. Liam, I'll get to the Ojo thing, mate. I will cover that in a second. Thank you for your comment, though. Bayern offered 70 million for Leroy Sané, which has been all over the media today. And I said this last night on the stream. I have no idea why Manchester City are looking to sell Leroy Sané. I just don't get it. There must be something either between him and Pep, or him and his attitude, or he wants to play more. I don't know, but either way, 70 million, I think Leroy Sané is worth, if that's the number, every single penny of 70 million. I'd love him at Liverpool. I would absolutely love that kid at Liverpool, but there's not a chance in hell that Manchester City are going to do business with Liverpool. David Newell said, Craig, if we got rid of Lovren, what would you say about getting Nathan Ake from Bournemouth as a replacement? I'd want to go a level above David. Ake looks good, but he can also switch off at times. I've seen him do amazing stuff. He's great from set pieces as well. He's good to have in the box aerially, but I've also seen him switch off during games too much. And yes, that could be worked on with Jurgen Klopp, and he's still a young developing centre back. I just think, again, for that whole English clubs to English clubs tax, if you want to call it that, of how we have to do transfers with each other, the fee would be so high that you could probably go and get somebody else. I really liked the idea of Toby Alderweireld for 25 million for a couple of seasons while we develop Keane Hoover. That's always been something that made absolute sense to me, because you don't want to block the pathway for Keane Hoover to come through because he's so highly thought of, but at the same time you need to have cover there and you can't be relying on a young kid. So that's why I think 2 or 3 years of Alderweireld for 25 million to me would have made perfect sense. The stuff to delete was never, it was more hopeful, I think, for most Liverpool fans. Aidan Collins said, one great week off for me, Europa League and especially the Champions League final. It's going to be a good week, buddy. I hope you enjoy it. Mon the Celtic said, Craig, do I like Celtic? I don't really have much of an affinity for Scottish football one way or the other, mate, to be honest. I don't like Celtic, I don't dislike Celtic. Yeah, sorry, it's just not really, I don't really follow, to be fair. What I do dislike about Scottish football is the sectarianism from not just Celtic and Rangers, from any of the clubs. The shit needs to be cut out. There's no need for it in this day and age. Depay skills are relevant. Jurgen will be asking, can he hug? Said Crosby Red. I think we'll have a transfer window like last season. We saw Suarez, very quiet and small signings. I don't know about small signings. Like, this is what's so beautiful and frustrating for us all, is we don't know what's going on. We just do not know what's going on. And I find it funny looking at the chancers on Twitter. The ITK is just posting up. And I keep having this ITK, because I know some people don't understand what I'm saying when I say ITK. It means in the know. It's basically chancers, lying fuckers that go on social media and pretend they have inside knowledge just to gain followers on there. And you see them pop up during transfer windows all the time. And you see tweets deleted, which is always a good sign of an ITK. Now, there are some people out there that, you know, have gotten some things right, and people like, for instance, Graham Kelly, I'm going to use as an example. I like Graham Kelly. I think Graham Kelly genuinely does have a very good finger on the pulse of what's going on with Liverpool Football Club. And I wouldn't put him in the ITK bracket. I genuinely believe that the likes of Graham Kelly does kind of have a good insight as to what's going on. But I also believe that in this day and age, the way transfers are at Liverpool, nobody knows what's going on there. There wasn't a sniff of Fabinho before he was signed. So I think Liverpool have worked very, very hard to keep the transfer business under wraps. Sometimes you can make educated guesses at stuff, and then sometimes you've got people on social media just taking a piss, for instance. Like, whoever started that Ramos nonsense about him being linked to Liverpool is complete and utter horseshit. And I hope they were called out immediately for it, for their nonsense. What do you make of Ant Rebic? I think we should get him. I remember being linked to him about a year ago, and then he's the Croatian guy, if memory serves, Sean. If memory serves me correct, he's the young Croatian guy. I haven't followed him since, to be fair. I don't even know where he is. Is he at Inter? I'm absolutely lost as to where his career has gone, sorry. Keanu Hoover is 17, so will be ready in 4 years' time. You say that, Maverick, but look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, mate. 19 years of age, and he was playing in the Champions League final, so I don't think 4 years might necessarily be. He's already had some first team game time, so I think 2 years max for Keanu Hoover. Will Kane be playing in the final? Please answer, said Heather. I would absolutely say yes. Harry Kane will start that final for Spurs. I think he's come out and said that he'll be fit. I think Pochettino will be under too much pressure not to start Harry Kane. And I also believe that Harry Kane won't be fully fit, and we won't see the best of Harry Kane. And I'm hoping that it'll play into our hands. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, there was no way he was never going to make himself fit for this game. I just don't think he will be fit. Harry Kane has been out for a good while, and whilst Tottenham might be able to get a behind closed doors friendly, and I don't think he's going to have that match rhythm that he needs. Although, look, he is a finisher, and he does know where the back of the net is. But at the same time, I would be more happy if they started him than if they didn't start him. I hope that makes sense. Thierry Mainrick, or is it Mernick? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, mate, if I got your name wrong. Can I just call you Thierry? Is that okay? What happened to Shea Ojo? Wasn't he supposed to be the next big thing? Yeah, he looks like he might be going to Rangers on loan. Steven Gerrard looks as if he's made contact with the football club and asked can he take Shea Ojo on loan there next season. Now, we know we had Ajari up there, and that didn't work out too well. Ajari didn't quite settle. He had Ryan Kent up there, and he's done really well. So well so that the club are trying to get him signed there on a permanent basis. I don't know about Shea Ojo, mate. For me, if a player's going to make it, they burst through, and you absolutely know about them. Like the likes of Ryan Bruce, I'm fully behind the fact that he will be, by the end of next season, somebody we're all raving about. Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Trent Alexander-Arnold, players that when they get their opportunity absolutely grab it by the scruff of the neck and don't let go. I don't see that in Shea Ojo from what I've seen. He's been very good at underage level. I don't think personally he's cut out for Liverpool, but it's also very, very harsh of me to write off a young player. So I think a loan spell is most likely. Rangers, it almost seems like the lazy option at this moment in time. Will playing for Rangers really develop a player to be ready to play for Liverpool Football Club? I genuinely don't believe it. I think if he goes to Rangers, it's going to be with a view to getting a few quid from next season when he's got more game time under his belt. It's half term next week. It's the best week of football of the year, said Dylan Jude. ITKs don't know shit, said Stephen Richards. 99.9% of them, mate, are absolutely full of it. And I'm not going to name names on here because that's not my style. Who's Graham Kelly? A name that I did name. Who is he? He's a Liverpool fan, is all I can really say. A Liverpool fan who's very well known on social media. I've spoken to Graham on previous podcasts. He's a very nice guy. And I don't think he, unlike a lot of people, I genuinely don't believe Graham Kelly ever means to deceive any Liverpool fans. I think anything that he's passed on, he passes on with good intentions and with information that he's been given. I know other people see things differently, and I suppose we all have people who we believe, don't believe, follow, don't follow. I've always found Graham to be very honest and above board in anything that he says, and not somebody who I think just chances his arm. I genuinely think he's a good lad. But John Barnes never played for Man United. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I've missed something there. Can Bayern afford Werner if they get Sané? Oh, yes. Chris Barham, 100%, mate. Bayern Munich are a wealthy football club that have been run at a very good profit for a very, very long number of years. And I mentioned on yesterday's stream that they're quite close now to signing a €1 billion, yes it was euro, €1 billion potential 12-year deal with Audi to be, it's an automotive partner or something like that. So yes, they can absolutely afford to drop 250 million in the transfer window, mate, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm sure that's probably not the answer you were hoping for, because I gather by your question you were hoping that maybe if they got Sané that would rule them out of Werner and perhaps leave the pathway free for us. What I will say about German transfers is they tend to take place early in the window. So for instance, we've seen Borussia Dortmund go and sign Thorgan Hazard, and they signed Julian Brandt and somebody else whose name I can never remember. Got that done very quickly. I think you'll see the same with transfers for Bayern Munich. They won't drag stuff out, particularly if they're German to German transfers. They usually try and get their business done early in the window. So if they're after Werner, we'll probably see something happen early enough. Remember when we all thought John Flanagan was as good as Trent, said Tussy. Again, another player that's up at Rangers. We're winning, or we're wearing the same shirt right now, said Big Man Steve. Nice one, buddy. Cool. Yeah, it's a nice shirt. I really like the Argentina shirts. The home, I've got the home anyway, actually. Boy, I will talk to you very soon, mate, and we must get you on for a chat over the summer. I keep saying that to you, but we'll get you on for a podcast, Anthony, if that's okay. What do you think of Mkhitaryan not being able to play in the Europa League final? It is a damn travesty, Steve. Now, technically, UEFA will say he's been given assurances and that he's able to play in the final. But if the player himself doesn't feel that he can guarantee his own safety to go and play a game of football because of stuff going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan, that's not good enough for me, and UEFA shouldn't have had to put that gentleman in that position. You can say that they mightn't have foreseen this, but at the same time, should the final go to any countries that have political instability or political arguing going on? I mean, for me, politics and sport don't mix, and it's a crying shame that Mkhitaryan won't be able to play in that final. Yeah, it's a disgrace. I would go that far as to say it's a disgrace. What happened with Moses' daddy Simon? I have no idea. I haven't got a clue if he moved on or if he was it Anderlecht or somewhere? I don't know where he was, but I haven't got a clue, mate. Haven't got a clue. But thank you for the question, Edward. John Barnes was at Watford and then Liverpool. Yep, he 100% was. Did somebody say he was at United? Because if they did, that's just completely incorrect. The Irish Beard said sorry, he meant Paul Ince. Yes, he was the man who calls himself the fucking gaffer. I mean, honest to God. I just got home and away, not a lie, said Big Man Steve. Did you see that the Mirror said there are over 50 plus songs of against Liverpool? I don't know what 50 plus songs of against Liverpool, mate. I can't figure out what you mean by that sentence. Sorry. What's happened with Dybala and Griezmann? They're available and I can't see them at United. Barca apparently are not in for Griezmann anymore. Right, so from my understanding of the Antoine Griezmann situation is there was a bit of a fallout over Barcelona refusing to pay the money that Mino Raiola wanted. Because Mino Raiola is a fucking slob and I really dislike that man, and he takes far too much money out of the game, as do many other top agents. But look, that's an argument for another day. Apparently Barca were unwilling to pay his demands, and it looks like they're at a bit of a stalemate at this moment in time. United, as I said, have been linked. 107 or 108 million seems to be the figure that's mentioned for Antoine Griezmann. I don't want him anywhere near Liverpool Football Club. Him and his fucking DVDs or his documentary about leaving his club can piss off and go somewhere else. Dybala, I have seen quotes today say that he wants to stay at Juventus and that he plans to be there next season. Apparently his brother put out something to the contrary, and Dybala then came out and said no, he is quite happy there and he wants to stay at Juventus next season. So doesn't look like Paulo Dybala be on the move this summer. Epic Ledger said, Craig, what do you think about Steve Nicholls' comment on Lovren, Lallana and Origi leaving the club this summer? Origi, I believe, is going to sign the new deal, if you're to believe, again, what's going on in the media. Lallana, 100% think he might move on. And Lovren, I did think he was going to move on until I read James Pearce say that Liverpool aren't going to try and sign a central defender, which then it would make no sense for Lovren to move on. So I'd say Lallana is the most likely of those three to move on. What else we got? Just tuned in, can you please update me on Depay and Origi leaving? I have nothing on Origi leaving. There was tenuous links to Barcelona wanting him as a replacement to Suarez, which we spoke about earlier on. They also were in with Fernando Llorente. It's like they just picked the two backup strikers, the Champions League finalists, and gone, them two please. Nonsense. I won't believe anything that comes out of the Spanish media. Somebody else said there, who was it we were linked? Oh, Stevie Nicholls said that he might move on. I don't know. Anything I've heard or read said that Jurgen Klopp has been won over by Origi's attitude and believes that he deserves a new contract. Now, whether he signs it or not, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think he'd be mad not to. And I've seen flashes of Origi this year that make me think he's starting to gain that confidence, that inner belief, and I think that's what held him back. I think he second guessed himself a little bit too much, and he's developing, he's filling out. And if Divock Origi gets it right, Divock Origi can be one hell of a footballer. He's got all the physical attributes to be sensational, and after scoring so many important goals for Liverpool this season, I would imagine right now his confidence is absolutely flying. I meant there are over 50 songs for rival fans against Liverpool. I couldn't be arsed, mate, about rival fans singing about Liverpool. I don't get it, do you? I don't get why they sing about us. Why not sing about your own teams? That's what baffles me in all of this. Anytime I go to Liverpool games, yeah, I've heard a couple of things out occasionally. Like I've heard the John Terry's Mass song, and I've heard a few other bits and pieces, but 99.999% of the times Liverpool fans are only interested in singing about Liverpool players or former Liverpool players or Liverpool related songs. Zaid said, Craig, I'm back. Sorry I haven't been on so long, enjoying the videos. Again, please don't ever feel the need to apologise. Always great to have you back in. Why do agents get paid by clubs? Oh, this drives me demented, Aidan, mate. Absolutely drives me demented. Football, and by that I mean our type of football, if there's anyone watching in America, soccer, even saying the word makes me feel dirty. It's one of the only sports I'm aware of in which clubs pay agents. Usually a player pays his own agent. Now, of course, players do pay agents. I think they pay them maybe a percentage of their earnings and stuff. But when it comes to transfers or players moving from one club to another, the fact that clubs are having to pay these agents ridiculous fees. Now, I did a bit of research earlier on, and from what I could gather, the time Paul Pogba moved from Juventus to Manchester United, Mino Raiola is believed to have earned £23 million from that deal. 23 million fucking pound for an agent. An agent. Now, the deal was 89 million. So you're talking at roughly 25% of that. Well, a little bit less. From Mino Raiola into his pocket. That's gone out of the game. That could have covered. Manchester United could have let everybody into Old Trafford free for probably the entire season. But they gave that money to Mino Raiola. Money that was taken out of the game and put into the hands of that horrible, greasy, fucking... I don't like that man one bit. Yeah, I have a massive issue with it. And I don't know. I think clubs need to just stop it. They just stop it. If the player... They want to be played... Let the fucking players pay them. It's madness. So much money going out of the game. Now look... I'm talking about at the very, very, very elite of the game here. There are so many good agents out there that work very, very hard for their players and don't make anywhere near the amount of money that we're talking about here. So I'm not trying to branch all agents in the one bracket because, you know, it's the 1%. Again, much like in real life, it's the 1% that are just greedy, just absolutely greedy bastards. Have I managed to get the mouse? I ordered it, Joanne. It hasn't arrived yet, but I ordered it. I must actually check on that. I ordered it off eBay a while ago. It was a custom one as well, but it hasn't shown up just yet. Dude, yes, that top. Good call, sir. Thank you very much. I'm just holding out for Brewster. I can't wait to see him in the first team, said Azzy. He's going to be brilliant. He's to me, he is as close to his sure thing as I've seen come through the youth system in quite a while. We're hated, which means we're huge, said Kisder. Let me just check through my notes because I keep missing stuff. I have done that. I remember I watched a little bit of I think Mark Goldbridge went on and did a podcast with Paul Machin, and I caught a few seconds of a clip of it earlier on, and Mark was talking about the fact that he's never written anything down for his streams. He just knows he's got one or two things in his head he wants to talk about, and he just goes on and does them. And I remember thinking to myself, God almighty, I'd be lost without some notes. Now usually I just have bullet points that I can go through, but yeah, I was even more impressed when I read that he doesn't take notes or anything, and he just goes off the cuff, which is brilliant because he does, as we know, he does such a good job. It's shambolic that agents get so much money, said Adam Parks. It is, and it's all coming out of the game, and it's coming out of money that you guys and I are paying for jerseys or tickets or merchandise or anything. It's just money that is going out of the game, money that could trickle down. It would be much better if that money was distributed to lower down clubs or clubs at the bottom ring of English football. It's disgusting. I hate it. Riola's see you next Tuesday, said Kisler. It's disgusting how much money agents are getting. Slimy Gits, said Willow. Apparently we paid the most to agents last season out of the Premier League teams. We did, and it would be hypocritical of me to come on here and talk about that and then not read your comment, Jareth, mate. We absolutely were top of the list of agents. I think it was 47 million or something like that Liverpool paid in agents fees last season. It's in the 40s, I believe, so excuse me if I got the exact number wrong, but yeah, it's wrong, and we're part of the problem. Of course, Liverpool Football Club paying those type of fees are part of the problem. Do I ever go to Gorey Town? I could hit it with a stone, Anthony, from where I'm living, buddy. I'm pretty close to Gorey Town. Do you think we'll sign anyone in this window, and if so, who? Yes, I believe we'll make 3 signings in this window, and who I couldn't say because I'd be lying to you. I want somebody like a Fekir, a Werner, a Neresh, the Depay I'm on the fence on. I'm absolutely baffled as to who the backup left back might be if we're going to bring somebody in. I genuinely haven't got a clue about that. Midfield, I think we're covered. So yeah, for me, maybe a left back or a backup left back and 2 attacking players. So who that is, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Do you watch Redman TV? No, I don't. And that's not because I don't like Redman TV. It's because I don't only watch Joe Rogan usually on YouTube if I get a chance, because I don't have much spare time. Ruben Neves over Maddison, said Kister. Not for me. I would much rather James Maddison, because I think James Maddison is more to the style that we need. Neves, whilst good, plays a little bit deeper, whereas we need somebody to kind of play at the tip of a diamond or just behind the front 3, and I think James Maddison is better at that. But look, don't get me wrong, Ruben Neves is one hell of a footballer. Stephen Richard said, Craig, I've given my neighbour who has cerebral palsy some Adidas tops. He's a red and gets skidded by some of the other neighbours. That's because, my friend, you're a class act. As I've said, and I knew from the second our path first crossed, Stephen, you're one of life's good guys, mate. I need to become an agent, said Tom Jones. Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, to get some of that agent money, some of that Mina Raiola wedge. Anything on the kickoff / True Geordie? Nah, nothing, Joanne. I'm going to have to just take an L on that one. No love from True Geordie or the kickoff. Paulo Dybala has denied reports of him leaving this summer and said he wants to stay at Juventus, said Louis, which I just touched on a few minutes ago. Any news on Neresh? Nothing new, Migs. Nothing new. Right, if I could say to you guys, Memphis Depay, Neresh, Ziyech, or Timo Werner, one of those names, who would you take right now? Who do you think would suit our system the best from those 4? So Neresh, Werner, Ziyech, and who should Neresh, Werner, Ziyech, and God Almighty, I'm already forgetting who I'm talking about. Neresh, Werner, Ziyech, and oh my God, I've literally just said this 2 seconds ago. Neresh, Werner, somebody's going to write it down here for me so I can remember. Depay, there you go. Yeah, and Depay. I probably should have put Nicolas Pepe in that list as well, actually. Sorry, I can see some Pepe shouts in there. Werner, Depay, Werner, Depay, Ziyech. Well, I think by the looks of it, Ziyech we can rule out because there's only been a couple. I'm going through the comments now. A lot of Depays. Alzheimer's setting in. Honestly, mate, you won't believe the amount of stupid stuff that I forget when I'm sitting here. And my mind goes blank. And then, of course, when your mind goes blank and you've got the pressure of knowing that you're live on a stream. So then your mind's gone, you're not going to get this dickhead. You're not going to get this dickhead. Look at you making a show of yourself. People are watching you, Craig. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. That's what goes through my head when I can't remember something. What have we got? Werner. Ziyech, Depay, Werner, Ziyech. I think, yeah, Werner and Depay seem to be the two choices here that people are going with. I forgot Pepe, so that's completely my bad. Ziyech or Pepe. Raptors in, how are you? We need to sign David Neres. He looks like one of our grandchilders. It's good enough for me, and our Rube's a fucking good footballer as well. We'll get him signed up, Raptor, mate. If he's good, get him in the academy. We see him. Don't forget, if he needs an agent, Uncle Craig is here. I can take care of that for him. I can definitely go on full on Mina Raiola. A counter-attacking style would suit him well, said Desi Models. I'm not sure who the original player was, mate. Sorry, I missed that comment. Oh, Depay, there you go. How about getting Depay and Werner? We could absolutely afford it, you see. That's the thing. Those two players combined, we're talking about something like 95 million maybe. And look, you do have agents fees, you do have VAT, and you do have other associated costs for transfers, but we could 100% afford to go out and buy the two of them without a shadow of a doubt. Edward said, Craig, I've sold my ticket on for $4,000. Right, wait, well, what that buys you on this channel is being booted out, you absolute fucking scumbag. Yeah, Edward's denim. To me, mate, what you've just said there makes you a shithouse. So you said you sold your ticket on for $4,000. I wish you no fucking luck whatsoever with that money, mate. Honestly, that disgusts me. Sorry. I don't know how everybody else feels. If you feel I'm being harsh about it, then that's completely up to you. But for me, selling a Champions League final ticket on for $4,000 makes you a shithouse. When I can see the amount of fans that would gladly like that ticket and would crawl over broken glass for that ticket. So yeah, sorry mate, you ain't getting back in. Love the content, said Harry Price. Thank you very much, sir. Wolves, Neves or Fekir? Fekir for me, Desi. I would absolutely love Fekir. I still want him. I just don't mention him because I haven't really seen him linked. I only mention him when people bring him up because secretly I'm hoping that they release the video from last year and just for the laugh and just say, oh look, here he is, and we couldn't be arsed shooting a new video. We'll just do it from last year's one. I really think De Ligt will be our Fabinho signing, said Tiernan Downey. I suppose the difference there, mate, De Ligt, oh no, we're absolutely not signing De Ligt. Sorry, Tiernan, I don't mean to rain on your parade there. Yeah, he's going to Barcelona. By all accounts, he seems absolutely nailed on to going to Barcelona. Where am I watching the final? In my house, John. Myself, Connor, Brian and Dave are going to do a watch along here. So you'll have the four of us on screen for the final. They won't have the green screen behind me. We'll just be downstairs in my living room. Why not get both Werner and Depay? Will be 100% complete in the attack. Again, Kister, I agree. And we could absolutely get them. Sorry, I was just distracted by a couple of comments there that I don't really like the look of. Craig is gay. If that's supposed to be a slur against me, then I'm more fucking angry the fact that you think calling somebody gay is a slur, mate, because it's choice. Not a choice, excuse me. It's how do I describe this without sounding like an angry bastard, because your comments after are winding me up. Whether or not I'm gay should be inconsequential. For me, as I've always said, I want people to find love. So to use gay as a slander term, I find very fucking offensive. Not to me, because I don't give a shit what you say about me, but to people out there who are gay, and maybe people who are gay that are struggling to come out, or people who are a little bit nervous about letting the world know about their sexuality. But to me, I just want people to have fucking love and find love in this world. And if you're gay, then all I could wish you was love, and I hope that you have a wonderful fucking life. But to come on, mate, and use it as a slur against somebody, you horrible little shit, mate. I don't know. You need to get your head checked. I'm absolutely baffled. I mean, yeah, to use just to use that as a slur, that's what pisses me off most. I mean, I've been called a lot of stuff on here, and you know, it is abuse, but that, I don't know what type of childish gobshite you are to put that comment in, but to use somebody being gay as a slur against them is fucking sickening, you absolute prat. Do I think Curtis Jones can be future Liverpool first teamer? Yes. He's one of the ones that we haven't actually spoken a lot about, Liam, very recently. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting on Curtis Jones, mate. It's a good shout, and one that I'm a little bit unprepared for, if I'm being honest. Yeah, sorry, I'm very unprepared to answer that question, and I feel like I'm caught a little bit off guard, and that's not your fault, Liam, that's my fault. What do you guys think on Curtis Jones? I'm going to have to put this one into the group, mate, because I'm just going to claim that I'm an idiot at this moment in time for that one. Sorry, my phone just flashed up there. It distracted me. Shiny things, I said to you guys before, I'm like a magpie. Shiny things distract me. Somebody actually suggested that I wear a heart monitor for the Champions League final, and I said to them I couldn't, because I would spend my whole time looking at the watch or the heart monitor, and I'm already distracted enough by the subscriber count when I'm on stream, so imagine me with a heart monitor and stuff. It would be, and it would probably break as well, to be fair. Guys, we're only 2 subs away from 850, well, 15,850. So if you are watching, you're enjoying the stream, please do hit that button. I do apologise about my little rant a second ago about that gentleman's comment. I feel like I could have handled it better. I hope I wasn't disrespectful to anybody except that little shit who deserved that disrespect. But I hope I wasn't disrespectful to anybody else there. And if you did feel disrespected by it, then please do let me know in the channel. I'm happy to address it, because I always try to be ultra cautious in these situations. And I've said time and time again, for me, I want more love in the world. And none of this hatred, none of this anger. Love. Love's what the world's all about. If you find love in this life, that's the most important thing, and never let it go. And I guess that's, I suppose, what I want my message to be. I've always said I'll make mistakes on stream. I might say something that I probably shouldn't have, and if I ever do, I just want you guys to know I always have the best intentions on here, and my intention is to never disrespect anybody. I know I'm probably being a little bit too overly cautious on this, but you guys mean a lot to me, and the time that you guys give up for the streams means a lot to me, so my intention is never to offend you unless you've been a little shit, and in which case, you know, you go and get it. He probably supports Tommy Robinson. I don't even want to go down that neck of the woods. Some weird energies in the stream today, said Claire. Willow said my nephew is gay, has a fantastic partner who loves him, and I'm sure that is all you and his parents and the rest of his family ever want from Willow, is somebody to love him and somebody that he can love back, and that is the most important thing in life. Love makes the world go round. Don't apologise, it was well said. Thank you, mate. Again, I just don't want to offend anybody on here, because I'm well aware that we've got younger viewers. I'm well aware that there might be people out there that, we've said before, people with mental health issues, people may be struggling to come to terms with various aspects of their life, whether it be their sexuality, their religion, their gender, whatever it might be. I just want you to know that I want this to be a safe space for everybody to come into and feel like they can be themselves without being judged. And that's just what I want in here, and that's what we try and work hard to do. So again, I am sorry. Even though I don't know if I've had to apologise for it, I'll just say sorry to be on the safe side. Keep on chopping, Craig, your show. I don't know what, keep on chopping? Chopping, is that a phrase I'm missing out on here? I admire the way you dealt with him. I wouldn't be that calm in that situation. Probably me 3 months ago. 3 months ago, Adam, I probably wouldn't have been as calm as I was. I think you guys have taught me a lot on this stream over the past few months, and I think I've grown as a person since starting this stream. I've certainly become more aware of things that I say. I've certainly become more aware that I can be hurtful towards people, and that people can again in turn be hurtful towards others. So it's just about learning. If you ever believe you're at a point in life where you can't learn anymore, then you're codding yourself. You should try and learn something or open up your mind every day, and that's something this stream and you guys have taught me more than anything else, is to keep an open mind. Because sometimes I come on with an idea about a footballer, for example, and I will be fully in my head coming on here and say, this is what I'm going to say about this, I'm going to fight my corner on this, and then somebody will say, but Craig, what about this, this and this, and I'll go, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. And there you go. And if you can learn, then I'm not saying I'm here to teach you anything, but if we can all learn from each other, then hey, What more can you ask for? What do you think of Calfreezy getting a ticket? Honestly, I've got a fucking clue who that is, Joe. If he's a football YouTube or a FIFA YouTuber or something, or a Twitch player, then unless he supports Spurs or Liverpool, then I'm not good with it, mate. If I'm being honest, I've seen a few FIFA players get tickets and take the piss with them, like wind people up that they've gotten tickets. It's sickening to see people getting tickets over fans who are at games week in, week out. It's all about money. Exactly what happened for the All-Ireland final. Cash is king, and it's very, very unfair. I know I did see something that Peter Moore was meeting with one of the heads of UEFA, and that they're going to try and, not that it will make any difference with this final, but they're going to try and address the issue of the percentage of tickets that actually go to the club's fans. Because we've seen now 2 seasons in a row, Liverpool have been fortunate enough to qualify for the Champions League final, and 2 seasons in a row, fans have been scrambling around, unable to get tickets. And whilst nobody will ever be able to have a situation where everybody that wants a ticket can get a ticket, that's just not going to be the case. I think Peter Moore is doing the right thing. I think people's opinions on the fact that each club are getting about 25% of the ticket allocation is bullshit. It needs to be higher. It needs to be somewhere in excess of 30%, maybe 35%. And I hope Peter Moore does get some joy in those conversations that whoever he meets with UEFA. Breaking news, Leon said Fekir can leave this summer. I think they've said that a few weeks ago, Ant, to be fair, mate. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Fekir's refusing to sign a new contract. Oh, do we dare get our hopes up? Do we dare, Ant? Why is Connor asking something? Is he asking why somebody got booted out? Oh, he got booted out because if it's this guy, he said, I sold my ticket for $4,000. What was the $4,000 comment? Yeah, sorry, Connor. Someone said I sold my ticket for $4,000, as if he was being boastful about it. And usually I don't begrudge people that type of shit, but fuck that. I've seen too many people that are fighting and struggling to get Champions League final tickets, and I'd say he's probably on a wind up, and I'd say he's a spoofer, if the truth be told. But if he did sell his ticket, and he did sell it in a public forum, and he did get $4,000 for it, then I hope to God the club track him down and they void that ticket, and he has to give that person back that $4,000, because he doesn't deserve to have had a ticket in the first place. I don't care if he's been to every Liverpool. Actually, do you know what? I know he probably hasn't been to every Liverpool game home and away, because those are the type of people that would crawl over broken glass to get that ticket. And if they did have to sell it on for whatever reason, would sell it at cost value, because they know they would like to be in a similar situation if somebody else had a ticket and they couldn't go. Craig, haven't said it to my parents, but I'm really afraid of secondary school. I'm not even looking forward to summer. I'm just scared for secondary school, like getting bullied. All I can say to you, Anthony, is, and I don't know you, but my daughter had similar anxieties going into secondary school, and it was the making of her, Anthony. It turned her into the beautifully, fantastically well-rounded young lady that she is now, and a young lady that I am immensely proud of. And every single day I just count my blessings that she's in my life. But I hope the same happens to you, mate. Don't worry about bullying. I found secondary school to be great. My daughter's finding secondary school to be brilliant. You get more responsibility, you get a chance to meet and interact with more people. And I know you're in Gorey, buddy, so if you're in Gorey, you're probably looking at one of the 2 schools in the town here that are both excellent. So whatever happens, Anthony, I'm sure you'll blossom in secondary school, mate, and I'm sure it'll be the making of you, because you seem like a really lovely chap. So I wish you all the best. Do keep me up to date whenever you do start, but don't let it play on your mind, mate. And of course, if it is playing on your mind, do talk to your parents about it, or a sibling, or maybe a teacher in school. Don't let it fester in your head, mate. It isn't worth it, because you can't worry about stuff that hasn't happened yet. That's what I've tried to learn in life, Anthony, mate. So always, if you're struggling, please do talk to somebody. I'm not qualified to give you the right advice on here. I can just give you my experience as a parent of a child that started secondary school a couple of years ago. Right, what have we got? Somebody said, sorry, I want to get back up here. There was a comment there that I just wanted to address. Somebody said they had autism. Sorry, I don't want to skip past a comment, because it's a very strong thing to put in the chat, and I just, sorry, where's this comment? I'm so sorry, I'm trying to find this comment, and the person that put it in, I sincerely apologise that I haven't been able to find it yet. Whoever it was, could you please put that comment in again? Somebody wrote something about autism, and I do want to address it because I thank you for taking the time to write it. So sorry. Fakir and Depay double deal. Oh my god, imagine, said Kister. Keep on chopping the trolls and wankers, Craig. I try to not address the trolls, and actually, to be fair, you guys had already removed that comment before I read it, but I just seen somebody say the word gay, and Craig's not gay, and I just thought, what's this about? So I clicked on the deleted comment to see what it was. So I think it was Joanne that removed the comment. So Joanne, as always, did a great job there, but it was just my stupidity to click on the comment. So I shouldn't have even done that. What else we got? Who urged us to get Maddison? Stevie Nicol, Sean. Steve Nicol was the person who urged Liverpool to go and sign James Maddison this summer. What do you think? I mean, we spoke about it earlier on, but I'd love to know your thoughts, Sean. Greetings from Benidorm. Look at Kev on the Jolly Bobs. I hope you and the family are having a great time, Kev. I know you, are you pulling a fast one and going to Madrid? I know you were flirting with that idea, buddy. Let me know. Are you doing it? Apparently we're signing Llorente. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. It seems like really lazy journalism as well, to just link us to one of Spurs players, maybe to try and unsettle them. Which I do love the shithousery that goes behind that, but there's no way we're going to sign Fernando Llorente. It doesn't make any sense. To me, anyway, it just makes no sense. Not the style of footballer that we need. We're not a team that pumps long balls into the box. We do pump long balls, but they're usually diagonally in behind to try and get Salah or Mane in down the wing. Liverpool to win in normal time for 3.3k, said John Bale. I know you do like a bet, John. I hope it comes in for you, mate. The Champions League is a European competition, so it makes no sense that the final isn't in Europe like Kiev or Baku this season in the Europa League. It does seem mad, mate, that I know they want to move it around Europe, but it's taking the piss, to be fair. I mean, it's too far for fans to go. Even if we're talking about fans here of Spanish clubs, French clubs, Italian clubs, German clubs, it's still an awful trek to go across Europe. Raul said, I know Liverpool are European royalty, but it's not like we go every year. The fact that we're going back to back is amazing, but it's not a common occurrence for English teams. Am I watching both finals? Oh, you bet your ass I am. Zone 22. And we're going to do a watch along for both finals as well. I should probably have told Connor that. We decided that earlier on in the stream, Connor. We put it to a vote, mate, and people said we need to do a watch along of the Europa League final. So unfortunately that will involve a little bit more work for Connor, but you know, he usually knocks it out of the park, and he's got enough time now to get it done, so no excuses, Mr. Crosby. Tiernan said, I was bullied in boxing game with the confidence and just combat sport in general. That's class. I'm a firm believer, mate, in the benefits of organised sport for kids, whether that be football, boxing, MMA, Gaelic, hurling, gymnastics, whatever it is. Just the discipline that comes with organised sports as a child, I find, can be very beneficial to people. It can give you a sense of belonging. It can give you a sense of community. It can give you discipline. It can give you respect, of course, for your coach and the officials as well. So I would, and apart from anything else, getting out and about and fitness and your health, it's a win-win-win, isn't it, really? And my little dude is 7, and I'm thinking of getting him down to the local boxing club as well. I had to wait till he was 7 from to join. And when I say the local boxing club, I'm not, of course, talking about him going in and punching the head off anybody. It's the training, it's the discipline, it's the routine. And my young man has endless amounts of energy, so I just think it would be the most suited thing to him. Can I unblock Bale, by the way? I don't know who that is, Raoul. Sorry, I've no idea who Bale is. That's a Connor question, though. So do tag Connor and any can you unblock questions, because that's his department. We ended Barca and Messi by the sounds of things. Yeah, did you see that? Messi has come out and said he can't get that defeat out of his head. God bless him. I don't have any sympathy at all. I love Lionel Messi as a footballer, but I've no sympathy because it was absolutely beautiful and I wouldn't change it for the world. And that's what Anfield can do. People can keep doubting Anfield, but it happens, and it happens for a reason. Joanne said it was right to address it, Craig. There are more subs now. They're not even here from the earlier months. We'll never walk alone. Thank you, Joanne. And Joanne, again, thank you for everything you do on the channel. It's been a pleasure getting to know you over the past few months, as it has with everybody. Fuck the Europa League B-Tech trophy, said Connor. True. I mean, it is true, but as somebody pointed out earlier, think of the subs, Connor. Think of the potential subs from it. But nothing else. It's always fun. I'll be watching the game anyway, so why not do a watch along of it? You're the jam for my sandwich, said S. Almond. That it could be one of the most unique compliments I've ever had, if you like jam on a sandwich. Which I do, so I'm taking it as a compliment. Have you seen the recent rumour outburst linking us to Ramos? Look, I sort of addressed it, Jack, earlier on. Do I even need to tell you it's bullshit? Surely, you know that there's no way Liverpool are going to sign Sergio fucking Ramos. There would be a revolt. Because the final's on TV, are you streaming it on here? No, I'm not streaming the actual game, Thomas, because even though, as you said, it might be on TV or it might be on BT's YouTube channel, it still would break copyright infringement for us to share that. So we'll be doing our usual watch along, we'll have a post-match show, and we'll have a preview as well, but no, we will not be showing footage of the actual game, because it would be breaking copyright. I completely agree we should go and get James Maddison, said, is it Abhinav? Excuse me if I've mispronounced your name, sir. We've trained longer in Marbella, and apparently Spurs are travelling to Spain for 4 days before the final. Advantage to us. I don't know if it is advantage to us. I've seen Pochettino come out and say something about not being able to get Real Madrid's not their training facilities, I think it was their accommodation or something like that around their club, which Real Madrid came out and said never happened, never asked us for it. I think Liverpool are going to train for 1 day at Real Madrid's training ground, and I believe Spurs are going to use it for a couple of days before the final. But yeah, as you said, Liverpool are in Marbella. Have the UEFA banned club from Champions League? I don't know what that means, mate, sorry, it doesn't make any sense to me. More work to do for Connor, said Scotty. That's alright. Connor's good at it. He'll knock it out of the park nice and quickly. Craig, would you prefer Arsenal or Chelsea to win the Europa League? Arsenal, but I think I've been asked that a couple of times and I've never thought of actually putting it back into the group. Ladies and gentlemen, what would you like, or who would you like to win the Europa League? Any preference to Arsenal or Chelsea? Again, please do put it in the chat. What is Gaelic football? How do I describe Gaelic football if I So, think of it as a mixture of football and Aussie rules, which is probably the closest thing I can say. Google it, mate. It's a form of Irish sport that includes goals, points. You've been able to use your hand. You've been able to carry the ball a certain time before having to bounce it, or what we call solo it, which is basically just do it, keep you up. I mean, how can I go about explaining it? It's much easier just to Google it, Joshua. It's brilliant though, and hurling in particular, which is one of the Gaelic sports. It's not Gaelic football, but I think it's the fastest ball sport in the world, hurling, I believe. And somebody described it before as a mixture of murder and Quidditch, which I thought was a perfect way of describing it. I was scared going to secondary school too, because it was going to a school that none of my friends were going to, but now I have more friends and I'm glad. That is class. I'm so happy to hear that, big man Steve. Nice, well in. I'm so glad you're doing well. And it's always good to expand your stream of friends or your group of friends as well. But how do you think, or who do I think will win the Europa League? Arsenal. I love your passion for us, said Dylan Jew, thank you. Right, so let me get to your thoughts. Who have we got here? So Connor said Chelsea hate Arsenal. Is that you saying you want Chelsea to win, Connor, and you hate Arsenal, or Chelsea hate Arsenal? So Scotty goes Arsenal, Jersey Boy Arsenal, John Cooper Chelsea, Big Man Steve Arsenal, Liverpool Football Club Arsenal, Stevie Richards Arsenal. I think Arsenal are winning this one, ladies and gentlemen, by the looks of it. A couple of Chelseas, but Willow Arsenal as well, Ella Arsenal. Ella May, Evan Pitts, I prefer Arsenal. Jack's Page, we own the Marbella training camp, but we just rent it. It's a facility, mate, that is purpose built for football clubs of the top level to go and train at for warm weather. So it was just a clever piece of business, to be fair. Just a lot of those facilities around Europe as well. Arsenal, the more enjoyable team to watch, said Chris Game 7. Arsenal dislike Chelsea, said Tom Jones. Craig, you're the number one role model for people with autism and Asperger's. I really am it, but I appreciate your kind words. There are so many people out there doing so much good work trying to raise awareness about autism, and yeah, I tip my hat to every single one of them. Dave Sweeney, Arsenal. Louis said come on Spurs. What else we got? Pro Clubs Gameplay said Arsenal. Craig, I put some quotes about Aulas in the chat. I can't scroll back up, mate. There's too much happening. Just copy and paste them and put them in again and lash a hamburger emoji beside it, Louis, mate, and I'll read it out. Arsenal looked the better side. Arsenal, it's all Arsenal by the looks of it. Very, very few. Anthony Cronin said, Craig, my dream is to bump into you in Gorey. I don't really leave the house much. I've spoken about this before, Anthony, but you might do. And if you ever do, mate, please, if you're with your parents, whatever, you just come up and say hello. It's always a pleasure to meet anybody, so don't ever feel like you can't come up and say hi. I got an email a few months back from somebody that watches the channel that said, I was with my missus and we were over in Universal Studios and I seen you beside the Hulk roller coaster and I wanted to go up and say hi, but I didn't want to interrupt you because you were there with your family. If you ever see me out and about, ladies and gentlemen, please come up and say hello. It will be an absolute pleasure to shake your hand and thank you for watching the channel. Louis said, love your streams though. Thank you very much, sir. Super Blue said Joey Hayes. Craig, would you ever do a charity stream for autism or Asperger's? No, and here's why. We do stuff for autism and Asperger's, myself and my wife and our family. Stuff that we just don't publicise because it's a private thing because, you know, I have Asperger's, my son has autism. So it's something we don't publicise, but we do. The reason we're doing the stream, the charity stream for cystic fibrosis, is because as I said, I want to support my wife, and I don't want to go into how much I love my wife again, but you guys know she's the most important thing, bar my kids, for me on the planet. Brian Morrissey, hamburger, you're a cunt. And you are correct, Brian, what can I say? Alright, mate, how's Tricks late in today? What's the latest news on the Reds? Liam, not too much tonight, mate. Not too much. We spoke about Stevie G looking to get Ojo on loan. Oh yes, there was one more thing. The Daily Mail are reporting that Liverpool are weighing up a bid for Felipe Anderson from West Ham. No mention of a fee, and as per usual, I'm not convinced by this. Any Premier League to Premier League transfers, I always doubt them because they cost an absolute fortune, and I'm trying to think since Jurgen Klopp has come, apart from the Southampton ones, is there many others that we've done Premier League to Premier League? Other than the Southampton players, which just makes me laugh because we took so many of them. Look, Felipe Anderson would be a great addition. Felipe Anderson's had a great season. Just don't see it happening personally, and it was in the Mail, so take that with a pinch of salt. Right, some more questions. I'll go and check every house in Gorey till I find you. Well, that one thing I'm not doing, mate, is giving out my address on a stream. That much I think is even over the line for me. I've autism too, said Owen Parry. Great to have you in, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're enjoying the good weather. He says not knowing what part of the world you're in, but I imagine, I'd guess you're in Ireland or the UK somewhere. But either way, mate, welcome to the channel. Thank you for opening up to us. I hope you're excelling in life, and I hope you're a Liverpool fan as well, Owen, because then you've got something to look forward to, don't you, mate, next weekend. Oh, yes. Connor gave me a link on this one. I see Billy Donnelly put it in there as well, but I want to give Connor the credit on this because he did send it my way. So, where is it? Yeah, Connor sent me a screenshot of an account suggesting that Liverpool have made inquiries about João Pedro from Fluminense. It did also say that an agreement was in place for the player to join Watford, but for some strange reason, a bid of €20 million would trigger a clause breaking that agreement. I mean, I have never heard of him before. Apparently he's got an excellent goals to minutes ratio. I mean, I'm not even going to lie and say I watched Fluminense, so this to me is just an absolute shot in the dark. Has anybody ever watched João Pedro, genuinely, or even YouTube clips of him? And is he worth us giving any attention to? Because I have no idea about this guy, none. Craig lives in Nonsington Castle, just outside Gorey, said Connor. Go look for it and try and find it. What's my real name? Craig Kane. I've said it loads of times on the stream, mate. Craig's my name. Craig Holden is my actual full name. Well, actually, my actual name is Craig, and I have a double barrel first name, but we'll just go with Craig Holden. Get yourself over to Scotland. I don't know why, Reese, but it's never been somewhere that's appealed to me. And it's probably because I assume it's colder than Ireland, and I usually try and go places that are a little bit warmer, but I probably should. I mean, I've been told Edinburgh is absolutely stunning, and it's a place I should go and visit. And again, next season we want to go and meet some supporters clubs. So if you're a part of a supporters club and you'd like us to come for a watch along, or to cover a game with you guys, then please do let us know. Thanks being spamming this. No problem, Billy. Hopefully the next Neymar. Yeah, I'm always a bit worried when anybody comes in there, the next Neymar, the next Ronaldo, the next whoever the hell it might be, the next Kaká. I don't know anything about the kid. It is always exciting seeing South American players linked, though, I have to admit. Whoever Klopp eventually gets in, I'm sure will work out, said Maverick. Saw a few clips of him. He looks physical, composed, confident and really fast, said Cameron. Goldbridge wants United to sign Pedro. Well, then there you go. Then I want us to get him just to put the shits up United. Do you know what I mean? Holden is a stage name. His second name is actually Goldbridge, said Connor. Yeah, my first name is B-Tech. Because the amount of fucking times I get told I'm a B-Tech Mark Goldbridge, or I'm copying Mark Goldbridge, or I'm trying to be Mark Goldbridge, or I don't know, the amount. I mean, I must get that once a day at least in comments. And whilst I understand the lazy link that people put together there, anybody that watches Mark and watches me will see that we are chalk and cheese. I mean, we're completely different personalities, we're completely different people. I like to think we both do a good job, because I know he does a good job, but I like to think I do an okay job on here as well. But I'm nothing like Mark Goldbridge. We're just so different, which is, I just think people think, oh look, he uses OBS, oh look, he has a green screen, oh look, he has moving graphics, oh therefore let's just say you want to be Mark Goldbridge. Would I say Mark Goldbridge was an inspiration, or Mark Goldbridge, I took not some ideas from Mark Goldbridge, but definitely inspiration? You bet your ass. And I guarantee you every fucking YouTuber that started since Goldbridge has done that. Of course you look at Mark Goldbridge's account and his channel, and you try and take the best from it, add your own to it and move along. I would be a hypocrite if I said otherwise. Mark Goldbridge was an innovator. So yes, absolutely, particularly for football fan content. So you've got to try and give a nod to the best, the people at the top of the game, don't you? And Mark Goldbridge is probably the highest caliber of this type of fan content. So what I mean by this is sitting there, green screen, microphone, just him interacting with people. But very different people. I mean, I don't think Mark swears as much in a year as I probably would on one watch along. But that's, again, just goes to show different strokes for different folks. Craig, thank you for the streams. Loving it here, said Cam Vlogs. Craig's a B-Tech Jason Statham, I'll take that. Is Pepe on the plane to Melwood as of yet? I don't know, but the fact, as I said earlier on, mate, the fact that this has gone so quiet makes me, I don't know, a little bit more confident maybe. Probably not right to be that confident, but it's gone quiet on Pepe. And has anybody seen any really strong links for Pepe to other clubs outside of Liverpool in the last few days? Because I genuinely haven't. Maverick said Goldbridge wants/thinks players actually wants to come to United. I think we all do as fans, don't we? We all like to believe that even if our club's going through a hard time, that our club is still and United are a big club, if we're being fair. But they're in a position now where they're probably having to overpay for players and overpay their wages to get them to come to the club. Especially when you haven't got a manager there like a Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola, or somebody who can attract players just from the calibre of manager that they are, and Solskjaer isn't that yet, or maybe ever, but he definitely isn't that now. Will I be watching the Scottish Cup final? No, I won't. Honestly, I won't. I'd be lying if I said I would. I prefer this stream to the United Stand because you talk to fans and answer more questions. Yeah, that is another difference. I mean, Mark does interact with people, to be fair, but he also has a lot of his own thoughts that he wants to share, and he's very well educated on the game of football as well. So yeah, I mean, how could I even try and pick holes in somebody whose account is as great as it is? So we are different, as I said, and I will always read more comments than Mark does, because that's how I get by. I naturally am attracted towards reading the comments and discussing what people are writing, whereas Mark maybe has his own, and Mark's streams are shorter as well, which is important to take into consideration here. Except for his watch alongs, he usually does 20 minute, 25 minute, 30 minute streams, so different styles of content as well. But I'm being uberly careful here on what I say, because I am very much an admirer of what Mark Goldbridge does. You're yourself, be yourself, said Joey Hayes. I love your opinions. YouTube's stupid decision on the real-time sub count. Oh, I'm glad somebody mentioned that, Jersey boy. So you see the sub count in our top left-hand corner. And by the way, if you want to make that, click on it a little bit. Do hit that subscribe button. But you see that sub count there. So that sub count comes from a source that we take that a lot of YouTubers use called Social Blade. Now, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, have decided to kind of poo-poo third-party live sub count numbers. So the likes of Social Blade, it looks like, are going to be thrown in the bin come August time, and we won't be able to get those real-time live sub counts that we have now. And every big YouTuber that I've seen is baffled by this, because I actually don't know a YouTuber that doesn't use something like Social Blade to get their statistics from. Because with YouTube, sometimes your podcast statistics or your show statistics or your viewer numbers, they can be delayed by 2, 3, 4 days depending on how busy YouTube are. But with Social Blade, you get your numbers immediately. So you can see your numbers in real time there right now. So if somebody subscribes, it goes up. If they unsubscribe, it goes down. And it also helps you celebrate milestones. So for instance, when we get to 16,000, we'll celebrate. When we got 10,000, we celebrate. To 20,000, we'll celebrate. And that will be taken away from YouTubers. So I know they ain't watching, but I really, really hope that YouTube reverse this decision on Social Blade, because it's been one of my favourite things. I absolutely adore Social Blade. I watch those numbers. Even when I'm not on stream, I have an app on my phone and I'm forever checking in on the numbers. Liam Hunter said, I live in Glasgow, never been to Edinburgh, but it's really popular with tourists. What else we got? Craig, if we win a 6th, you put another star in your logo. We're changing our logo, Ella. Regardless of what happens in the Champions League final next week, we're going to be changing our logo. Myself and Connor have been trying to sort this for months. We're going back and forth and back and forth. And if there is somebody out there who is a bona fide designer, a graphic designer that can make a logo, and I don't mean somebody who does it part-time, I mean somebody who is employed, fully up, functional and working, then feel free to get in contact with us, and we absolutely have no problem paying for it either. We just want to we have ideas for a new logo. And look, yes, if we win a 6th, there will be 6 stars. The stars will change, of course. But yeah, we definitely want to do a new logo. I've been wanting to do it for months. I'm not happy with the logo that we have. I don't think, if you look at our logo, it says Liverpool immediately when you look at it. I also don't think there's any nod to the fact that we want to be multicultural and an international channel that encompasses fans' views from all over the world. So there's a few little bits and pieces that I want to change on it, and I know Connor does as well. And Connor doesn't really want to work with me on the logo because he knows how much of a pain in the arse I am, and how he knows that this will be a project that will go back and forth, 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 and I'll go round in circles and could well end up coming back to the very first thing we started on. So Connor just point blank refuses to work with me on the logo, and I don't blame him. He's right. I'm a pain in the arse. 8 more days in counting, said somebody else. Would you take Karamoko Dembele to Liverpool? Karamoko Dembele? I don't know who that Dembele is. I know United, by the way, were looking at Leon's Dembele. There was talk of them putting in a bid for him. 8 more days and counting. Am I getting excited? Yes, I really am. Craig, real-time sub numbers is another one. Yeah, there are a few. I think most of us use Social Blade, but there are various other ones. I love your logo, said Adam Parks. Thank you, mate. It is a good logo, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a piece of shit or anything. Far from it. I just think, like everything else, we've improved the images that we use. We've improved the audio. We've improved the camera. We've improved other little bits and pieces. And I'm someone that always wants to try and push on and progress. There's going to be 6 stars on the logo. I hope so, Aiden. I absolutely hope so. I know you're Craig. I know a good graphic designer. He's an Irish Liverpool fan. At Discreet is his Twitter and YouTube. Don't think he would charge you. Well, the thing is, I'd rather pay somebody for it, because if you're paying somebody for it, I can be openly more critical if I'm not happy with something than if somebody's doing something for free. I'm more likely to just say thank you. Does that make sense? Jack Spade said, I think your logo was brilliant, by the way. Thank you. Well, there might be a case to, sharpening up the logo as well. Why is my wife in the chat talking about fucking players scoring hat-tricks and stuff? Jeez, this is freaking me out. Never seen Sabrina come in and I just read the comments. She scored a hat-trick against Oilgate this week, and I'm just sitting here going, what? What is my wife talking about football for? That doesn't happen. Anthony Cronin said, Craig, I recommend it to your son in the summer. We do soccer camps for kids. It's really good. The coach that runs it's called Peter Bennett, and would love some kids to come and have fun. Yeah, he's starting to get into football a little bit as well, Anthony, so I will definitely keep that in mind. Karamoko Dembele is the 16-year-old kid from Dembele. He made his debut recently and has been touted as the next big thing since he was 13. Oh, I remember seeing a clip of him now playing for Celtic's underage teams, actually. I think he scored a ridiculous amount of goals. Brian, yes, you did give me the numbers. I just haven't rang them for the 2 graphic designers yet, mate. Connor said the logo needs to be more Liverpool-y. And I agree. It does need to. You need to look at it and know it's Liverpool. Maddison not worth a toss, said DB Plaster. And mate, I would suggest that if you believe James Maddison is shite, then I don't know. I don't want to be critical of you, buddy, but he isn't. It's simple as that. James Maddison is a very, very, very good footballer. You might not believe he's a player for Liverpool, but to say he's not worth a toss is very, very harsh in my opinion. A better logo would be better to bring in more subs, said Dave Sweeney. Sean Bailey said, I don't know it's because his job, Craig. He does graphic designs for his streams, and I don't know whether he's actually had any customers from YouTube or Twitter. Thank you, though, for the suggestion, Sean. I do appreciate it. Will I do a stream with my missus one day? Why don't you ask her? She's clearly on the stream there. I can see a comment below. I don't know what it would be about, because it couldn't be about football, because she's not really into football too much. But I don't know. As I said before, she could ruin me in one stream. Give out all the information about what an asshole I really am. Craig, what about Patrick Roberts from Manchester City? No links that I've seen there, mate. Sorry. I was talking to Anthony Cronin about Claire's daughter Holly, who scored a hat-trick for the under-10s game. Claire's sister Emma told her she's to score 25 goals before she buys the new LFC kit. Nice. I like that level of bribery. So well done. Nice one. What about Delafeu? Was once considered the next Messi. Learning from Salah, Mane could unlock his potential. He's alright. I mean, from what I've seen, he's in and out of the Watford team at times. So I don't know. I just don't. I think he's one of those players that is a clips player rather than a consistent player. Coutinho back would be ideal. Again, that whole situation's gone very quiet, which, as DB Plastron pointed out, it kind of would be an easier transition to make, but it's the price that's always worried me about Coutinho. But the fact it's gone quiet on Pepe, the fact it's gone quiet on Coutinho, yeah, quiet makes it more likely for me rather than the fact that there's loads of links out there. Loads of links makes me think stuff isn't happening. Quiet makes me think it's more likely. How was my podcast with Cash? It was good. It wasn't a podcast. We actually just recorded a video chat and we're going to put it up on Sunday. So it is all recorded. It's all saved on the laptop and good to go. Longest 8 days ever. It feels like it's never ending, doesn't it? Honestly, it just... Thankfully, we're going to have the playoffs over the weekend. So you'll have the League 2, the League 1, the Championship playoff, which will give us something to look forward to, and that'll then lead us into the week where we have the Europa League. So we've got expressions coming on Wednesday. I'll take you guys through a quick rundown of what's going to happen over the next week building up to the final. So what day is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Saturday. We'll have a live stream as always. Sunday I will be streaming much earlier during the day, so maybe something around 6-7 o'clock, something like that, because myself and Connor are flying out late Sunday night into Monday morning, so I won't be streaming late on Sunday night. We will have the Cash interview, if you want to call it that we'll put up on Sunday night, so you've got some content. On Monday, Connor will post up one of the podcast videos, or one of the podcast sections that we recorded earlier on in the week in his house, so you'll have that on Monday as well. And then Tuesday I have Dave Henry coming on for a chat and a build up to the Champions League final. Dave is one of our regular contributors. Wednesday, hopefully expressions. Thursday, Europa League final. Friday, preview show. Saturday, fucking mayhem. is what's going to happen, because we're going to have a whole day of content on Saturday. We're going to take you right through from probably, I don't know, 3 hours before kickoff till 2-3 hours after kickoff. So yeah, it's going to be a long day, and myself, Brian, Connor and Dave will do our best to make it a fun day for everybody if you join us on the streams. Sabrina holding Q&A done in 5 minutes. There you go. Boom. I'd like to actually see her answering questions about me. That would be interesting. My favourite ever Reds player, Robbie Fowler, Liam. But what about you? Who's yours, buddy? By the time the final comes around, it'll feel like a new season because of how long it's been since the last game, said Sean Pill. Yeah, I know. But it is funny because I think, is it League 1 still have a game to play in their league? Like, so it just goes to show this is why the final was put to June the 1st, because there are other European leagues that are still playing. I'm watching on my phone while carp fishing in Wales, said Scouse Bill. Nice one. I've never really gotten into fishing, but I can totally understand the relaxation part of it, mate. Probably the fact that I don't really eat fish puts me off. Definitely quiet usually means things getting tightened up and NDA signed, etc. No more rumours, said Joseph. And anyone wonder what NDA means? It's non-disclosure agreement. Ruben Neves would be a great signing. Would be a steal. I'd imagine it would cost a fortune to get him out of Wolves. Wolves are quite heavily backed financially and don't really need to sell. A club that are looking to build, and I would say that Wolves in the next 2-3 years have visions of trying to get into those Champions League places, so it'd be tough to get Ruben Neves out of Wolves. We do have Fabinho, I think. Wasn't Fabinho's agent Mendes, who I believe has good contacts at Wolves, so there might be an in there. And we do know Pepe Linder spent 6 or 7 years coaching Ruben Neves at Porto as well while he was coming through. Coutinho's family have no interest in moving back to Liverpool, said Brian Morrissey. There you go. Maybe he stays at Barcelona and maybe things get better for him. Coutinho's also been injured lately, and we all know what happens when Phil gets injured, said Jax Page. Current favourite Liverpool player, Bobby Firmino, Migs. I love him. I absolutely love everything about Firmino. I love that he's a lunatic. I love those white teeth of his. I love, yeah, he's just mad, and I love a madman, so I mean that in the most respectful manner. I have warned my family that the TV will be blaring and I'm going nuts, said Cam Vlogs. Prepare for the madness next week, said Willow. It does seem a very long way away though, doesn't it? Craig Kane hasn't played since the 9th of April. How could they start him? Player power. I think Dave Sweeney is probably the answer there, and lack of options. I mean, who did you go with Fernando Llorente up front over him? Do you play Son up there? Or do you maybe go with like Lucas Moura, Kane and Son with Dele Alli and Eriksen in behind? They've also got the midfield as an issue as well. Dembele, it's not. I think man for man we should beat Spurs if you matched up to two teams, but it's a one-off and anything is possible. Is the Europa League final on the Wednesday or the Thursday? I think it's the Thursday. Is it the Thursday? I believe it's the Thursday. Somebody confirmation on that one? Anyone? I'd be mad if they moved it from a Thursday tournament and had the final on a Wednesday. I think it is the Thursday though. Tranmere playoff final 3 p.m. tomorrow, said Lee. King Kenny is David Lone's all-time favourite player. Craig, you should put Milner on the 7 days to go number 7. There you go, Connor. There you go. There's a shout for Connor because he makes those images. So Connor, James Milner, number 7 tomorrow. Very long wait. Wednesday. Oh shit, it's Wednesday. Oh fuck, then there's no way we're going to get expressions on a Wednesday. Interesting. Yeah, I've got to go back and forth now with expressions on that one, but thank you for letting me know. I thought it was Thursday. Maybe I'll just go earlier and record with expressions. Either way, we'll figure it out and I'll keep you guys up to date with what's going on. But thank you for letting me know, because I would have assumed it was Thursday. Connor said Milner, thumbs up, so there you go. You'll get Milner for the number 7 tomorrow. Get expressions on Thursday. Oh, for me it would be no problem, Scotty. It's his availability because he's a busy man. Expressions, the award-winning expressions. Much prefer Kane to start if fit. Imagine the impact he'd have coming off the bench when Spurs need goals, said Tom Boland. Charlie Boyd, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Hello, Eggy, said Curly007. Rocks, I mean, okay, mate. Hello. Depay to Liverpool. I'm not sure. Anthony Young. There's been some rumours, some links of around 40 million. I spoke earlier on about the fact that Manchester United do have a first refusal clause in his contract, but don't really seem to have any interest in looking to trigger that one. So I would say that the players that are quiet are the ones I'd be more confident of. So maybe Pepe, maybe, I don't know, who else have we gone quiet? Neres, that hasn't a little bit, but I don't know. This is the fun thing about this, is none of us have a clue what's going on. We're just waiting for transfer news. Boba Fett is in as well. How are you, mate? Welcome. Always great to see you. The award winning sounds nice. It does. Hopefully someday it'll be the award winning Anfield agenda. That'd be nice. Kane will start from the bench, said Ferran. Craig, do you think Bobby will start versus Spurs in the final? Yes, mate. The fact that he's back training now and there's still 8-9 days to go, I think he'll be nailed on to starting that final. What time's the stream over? In about 5 minutes, Harry. I'm actually just about to start winding things down. Ask Expressions to come on Tuesday. I've already got Dave to come on Tuesday, Willow, so I don't like to, move people when they've already agreed on something, and Dave would do it because he's a good lad, but I want to be respectful to Dave as well. Craig, I'm so glad I get to spend every night with you and everybody here. Wow, that's so nice of you. Thank you, Cam. It's been great on here over the past week. You guys have been so kind. We're going to get a Fabinho style transfer, said Christopher McVicker. Hope so. Hit the like button, folks, said Joey Hayes. Please do. I don't know, what are we at with likes on the stream? How many have we got? Have we passed 150? I don't know. I can't see those numbers from here. And don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, also please do hit that subscribe button. Is Kane back training? I believe he is, Jeff, yes. 8 nervous days, said Charlie Boyd. Not nervous for me. Just hard to try and fill the hours. On here, it's sound. But apart from that, no football to watch, and yeah, I don't know. The award-winning Craig Best YouTuber of the Year. Look, you can make that award up and give it to us if you want, mate. Man United finally found a way to beat us this year, pay a world record fee for a defender. Is that what the Delay rumour? Because he's not going there, mate. Even Goldbridge was coming out earlier on saying that the Delay thing is nonsense. He's not going to go to United. Ella said share the stream as well. 134 likes, said Willow. So 16 more to go and we passed 150. So look, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, ladies and gents, please hit it. Is that what I'm trying to say? Please give it a bash. Hit it as hard as you can as well. Like, smash the shit out of your mouse if that's what you're using. Massive week ahead, said Joey. I'm buzzing. Yeah, everything seems to have gone quiet. Social media seems to have gone quieter amongst Liverpool fans. I think everybody is nearly having a break before the madness. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. I was still getting out when you started. Summer coming, said Lee. It was still light out when I started. Yeah, I know. I'm having to pull the curtains now to make sure the room's dark enough to use the ring light. I'm getting really nervous. I feel we need to win, or we may struggle more next season, said Adam. I'm really confident, mate, about us winning this game. I haven't decided whether I'm going to wear the lucky jersey or not yet, though. I don't know whether to wear the lucky jersey or the new jersey. But I'll make that decision a little bit closer. People don't know what the lucky jersey is. Don't worry about it. It's just an older shirt that I wear. No one started the transfer dominoes, which is true. It will take one or two. Borussia Dortmund have done a few bits, but you're going to be looking at the likes of the Madrid transfers, the Eden Hazard with Chelsea, those type of things to trigger the real transfer window to start. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to everyone that's joined us tonight. I will chat to you all tomorrow night around the same time, 9:30. Get your questions ready, and do me a favour. Keep your eye on all the transfer rumours for me over the next 24 hours, because if I miss something, I want you guys to be able to let me know about the little bits and pieces I'm missing out on, because as I've said to you guys before, I love transfer windows. I absolutely love this stuff. What else we got? What do I do after this stream? I will spend about 15 minutes putting stuff away because we have to set it up and then put it back away. Then I will go downstairs and listen to the Joe Rogan podcast for about an hour. Then I will kick back and watch TV for a while and take some notes and do some stuff to get ready for tomorrow's stream, answer some emails, go onto Twitter, reply to some comments and private messages on Twitter. And it'll probably be about 3 o'clock then when I get to sleep or get towards bed. But look, as I said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. I will chat to you all tomorrow at about 9:30. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Thank you for everything as always. You know I love each and every one of you. Up the motherfucking red.